All right, let's talk about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills here, as it was a disappointing day for the Bills. You're wondering, can this be the game where you finally are able to beat Cincinnati? It's been a bad matchup for them for a bit now. Obviously, kind of the maybe the biggest low light so far in the Josh Allen era was that game against Cincinnati in the playoffs last year. So, chance for a little bit of revenge here against the Bengals, and it didn't really go well. While it was not a terrible day, there certainly were some positives. Let's first start off with the negatives and why they weren't able to get as much going as maybe they would have liked. And, starting off with the turnover here by Josh Allen, which I didn't think Josh Allen was bad in this game. I really didn't. But it's a bad play for sure. This one was a bad play. So it's cover 2 zone, and on paper, this is something that can work. You have a receiver who's going to try and get into that, people call it the honey hole, that little area underneath the safety, past the corner. The corner is supposed to cover about 5 to 15 yards down the field. That's what you're typically expecting. So if you're at the 12-yard line, really, you probably want to get the ball to around the 30. That's where you're thinking. Allen takes the snap. He's going to look down the field, and you see that the corner is playing the quarterback right here, which is what you're supposed to do. Pay attention to the quarterback. On paper, you totally see why Allen wants to make this throw. One thing a little bit worth noting is that he is currently at the hash marks on the bottom of the screen, so bit of a tougher angle as opposed to if he was closer to the top of the screen. Just something worth noting. However, when Allen makes this throw, really, it's a good defensive play, for sure, by the Cincinnati corner to get over there. You want to make sure you can hit it over the corner, and, like I said, usually you want to get that to around a 30. That is where Allen got it, but really a little bit past the 30 is probably where you would have ideally wanted it, because, at that 30, that's still within the area where you can see a defender make a play. It is. At the end of the day, though, this is a play that, listen, sometimes it works out, and you get the credit when it does work out. It is a tough throw to make, and this time it wasn't able to, they weren't able to get it done. Give credit to Cam Taylor-Britt. He was able to make something happen. And for Josh Allen, listen, Josh Allen's amazing. There's no denying what he can do is absolutely outstanding, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in football, in my opinion. The turnovers do kind of have to stop at this point. I mean, it's becoming an issue. He's played 9 games and thrown 9 interceptions, and been very consistent at throwing 1 interception a game. In 6 of his 9 games, he's thrown exactly 1 interception, and then he had a 3 interception game against the Jets and 2 no interception games. But this is a tough play. You got to definitely make sure you cut these out. That's Josh Allen's issue. But going over here, I mean, again, to try to look at this and say it's because Josh Allen sucks and that's why the Bills aren't as good. Josh Allen has regressed. Josh Allen was a product of Brian Daboll. These are real takes people have, which I think is a little bit silly. No, Josh Allen is great. Josh Allen is not the issue. The issue is they're expecting Josh Allen to be perfect and be Superman, and sometimes he is, but he can't do that always. This play is a zone coverage play. It's actually going to be, you're going to have 8 players drop back in the coverage here. So just a 3-man rush for the Cincinnati Bengals. Watch as Allen takes the snap. He is going to immediately get outside the pocket. There was a hold, so that's not ideal. No matter what happens on this play, it's not going to be great for Buffalo here, I guess, unless there's, a penalty on the Bengals. At least then it would be a retry. But of course, the flag is thrown behind Allen. He doesn't know what's happening. So he's still trying to figure out, can something happen? We're already 5 seconds into this play. Can someone get open? Watch him still try to see if he can get something down the field. Finally makes a throw that wasn't quite able to be complete. You got to be able to get guys open. And that was the biggest issue in this game, in my opinion, was Cincinnati was just covering Buffalo consistently. Sure, it was, you only had 3 players rush the passer, so that's a part of it, but still, you have to, get someone open at some point, you would hope, on that play. You don't, it's 3rd and 11. I get it. It's hard to get open that far down the field with a 3-man rush. I get it. You still would have liked to see it happen, though. This play is less hard to get someone open on. It's going to be a zone coverage play once again. You have 2 receivers kind of running over the middle here, one more underneath, one a little bit further deep. And watch how, when Allen takes the snap, he looks over, and you have a scenario where, again, it's just nothing's that open. Allen could try to force something here. He could, but it's a dangerous throw. If he decides to make the throw, it is dangerous, so he is going to make the decision to not. So Allen looks elsewhere, but then the pressure swallows him up. He ends up getting sacked on that play. So, that was an opportunity on a 3rd and 2 to keep a drive going. Instead, they weren't able to do so because of, the coverage not getting guys open, and then the offensive line not allowing him to get to a second read and get something else happening. So just an issue for Buffalo. A play like this, another 3rd down and 6 here, where, kind of an important play as well. 3rd down and 6, it would be great to get points on the board here, given the situation of being down 14 with 28 seconds left in the first half. You have a receiver who's, on the outside in a one-on-one matchup, single safety deep. Okay, Allen's thinking, hey, maybe let's get a touchdown on this play, right? Why not? Let's at least throw the ball down the field, see what we can do, make something happen. Allen takes the snap. He is going to look in that direction. He fires in that direction, and the receiver thought it was a different route. Him and Allen not on the same page results in an incompletion instead of an opportunity for a big play. I mean, that did have big play opportunity potential, but they just weren't able to get on the same page there. Going over here, listen, there still are some really good plays. There are. I mean, this is going to be again, one-on-one matchup on the outside here, single safety deep. I mean, these are opportunities, right? These are times when you can try to make something happen. Watch as Josh Allen takes the snap. He is going to look in that direction. And, it's kind of an interesting route where you have a receiver kind of fake as though he could be doing something else, but is then going to run further down the field. So, okay, bit of an interesting, idea there. But it's about to get open. It's not open just yet. And for Allen, he realistically probably could just stay where he's at right now, but he likes to move around. So watch him just run up in the pocket just for fun. Still is able to flip it over down the field and pick up yards that way. That was Khalil Shakir who got open. But again, if you're Allen and you can throw that well off balance, why not just make it a little bit easier scrambling out? Give the threat of a run too if you wanted to. But good throw. Good catch. There still are these plays. Josh Allen still is very good at football. The Bills still do have players who can make things happen. There's no getting around it. I mean, this has been a disappointing season for Buffalo. They're over the halfway point for them and currently outside of a playoff spot. That's just, they did not think that was going to happen. They didn't. I still think they make the playoffs. I do. I know they've had their rough patches this season. I think the concern that you have to have for Buffalo is what's the ceiling of this team? Can they go on a deep run and win the Super Bowl, which is what, they're hoping they can do? It's not looking incredibly likely as it stands right now. But there is still always the hope is that Josh Allen can just be that kind of Josh Allen, right? He can make those plays that we've seen him make. He is capable of going off. But that's also kind of the concern with the Bills right now, is that feels like the only way they could really be a Super Bowl team, right? Is if Josh Allen goes out and is just amazing for, probably 4 games. Because, definitely 4 games. They're not getting to 1 seed at this point. That's not happening. I guess it's in theory possible. They still do play the Kansas City Chiefs at this point, but still, with the Ravens, Chiefs, and Jaguars, all of just 2 losses, it's going to be hard to make up multiple games on all of them. You basically have to win out. Realistically, they're going to have to win 4 games to win a Super Bowl, and right now, it doesn't feel like they're a team that can do that, but hey, better to peak, late than to peak in the middle of the season. So there still is potential. We've seen crazier things happen, but they have to figure some stuff out. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.